Hey, how y'all doing? I'd like to point out 1 Corinthians 13. That does say a lot of things about love, and these things are true. But let's look at what it does not say about love. What does 1 Corinthians not say? Well, it does not say that love is pleasant. It does not say that love is positive. It doesn't say anything about optimism. It doesn't say anything really about positive thinking or self help or, well, any of those things that people uh, often associate with love. So, for the parents out there, let me ask you a question. Why do you discipline your children? Well, I discipline mine because I love them. I love my son, so I discipline him. Is discipline pleasant? No, it's not pleasant. It's not supposed to be pleasant. It's supposed to be seen as a negative consequence for behavior that you don't want them to continue. That's uh, the nuts and bolts of why we discipline our kids. It's not pleasant. It's not positive. It's not optimistic or anything. It's not any of these things, but it is the most loving thing a parent can do. Same thing with God. He loves us, so he disciplines us, and so on and so forth. So, the question is really, what is love not? Something to think about the next time you're in a conversation about the Bible and you're bringing up something that's particularly offensive and negative to some people, and oh, that's not loving. It's like, yeah, it is. So it'll give you some self confidence when you're evangelizing, or when you're trying to correct a false doctrine, or when you're trying to help your brother out with a particularly wrong belief system, or whatever you may be doing. Because rebuking and correcting and warning is part of evangelism. It's part of being a leader in the church. And when you do these things, you will have the assurance that you are doing the loving thing, because you know what Corinthians says and you know what it doesn't say. And don't be confused, and don't feel guilty because you're being a little bit more negative than other people. Because believe it or not, negativity has a very powerful effect in evangelism. It gets people's attention.
What shall we say then? Shall we say that we can live in sin however we want because we're under grace and not under the law? God forbid. How can you possibly live a life of sin? How can you possibly choose to disobey the Lord and love Him? You cannot do that. You have to repent.